I'm trying to see how many days I can ride this year. Hashtag 365 motorcycle. Day 2, my exciting commute home from work.
And we're back. So, December, January 2nd, day 2. And, yeah, I'm on my commute home from work. And I'm 2 for 2 now. 2 days in a row on the bike. Probably later on, I will not remember what day it is. Either the day or how many days I've missed and what my score is. But yeah, so I figured I'd probably mostly be filming on the way home because in the morning I'm still kind of tired and it's really dark in the morning still too. I'm usually leaving at 6 o'clock, so it's still dark as dark can be. But that should get a little bit better for a while, and yeah, then they'll decide to change the clock again and it'll get worse. So yep, probably be a lot of these little boring clips just coming home from work every day, and there's not really a great way to get home from work. It's all just boring suburban sprawl. I started going through this neighborhood because number one, it's a little nicer, but also because I had a collision on Watt Ave and the cars there are just so crazy. Everybody's in a rush. So yeah, I decided to try to take as many little back roads as I can. And excuse me, God. Periodically, I leave with a car that I can easily recognize, and then later on, our paths cross again when I get back on the main trail, so to speak. And usually it's about the same. They might beat me through that intersection, but I don't really care that much. So yeah, this neighborhood is pretty interesting. If I do film in the morning, this neighborhood, I always find it funny because they have a lot of cops looking for speeders here, and by looking I mean like running radar and stopped. And I think just because tons of people speed through my neighborhood, but I'm gonna guess it probably doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna guess a lot of these homes are $1 million or 750,000 or so. So they probably have more political pull to get police officer presence looking for speeders. So well, I'll probably run through this development and then turn it off. And I started taking back roads home through developments. This merge up here where I turn left is probably the worst one, because it can be challenging to get out, and I really don't like the way this intersection has this frontage street, because as you can see here, you get a car coming out and then they want to turn, but they're sideways and blah blah blah. So usually what I do is pull into the turn lane and then signal I want to come out, which is legal to do in the state of California, as I have found out. Alright, well, once I make the next turn, or I got enough time, I can take my hand off, which will be now. Peace out.
Day 3, my exciting commute to work.
And we're back! So, today is January 3rd, day 3, riding to work this morning. Figured I'd do some morning filming in the dark. It's, don't believe my clock, I never changed it. says 7:14, but it's 6:15. Well, it says it's 7:14, which means it's 6:14. But just commuting in. It's fairly cold today, but not terribly cold. It's been colder, I guess, is what I would say. Probably it's better for me to do afternoon filming because usually I'm so tired in the morning. I really don't feel like talking, but try to at least run my mouth for a little bit here. So, see what I mean? Exactly. Nothing to say. My exciting commute. Before I used to work at another location, and there it was more worth my time. I felt like commuting to work because it was a longer ride. It was a slightly better ride too, obviously because it was longer. Here, there's been a lot of times last year I was just lazy. Felt like sleeping in a little bit longer, and I took my cage in because, like I said, because I was lazy. It takes me probably about 10 minutes to put all my gear on. My gear up in the garage. So, I usually, and I don't really like, I don't mind riding in the dark, but geez, it's hard to, in darkened areas where it's crowded, a lot of traffic, it's hard to see obstacles, junk on the road. Having this insert in my visor, the anti-fog visor, really has helped out quite a bit. Figured if I actually did this for 365 days, it's going to be hard to remember what the hell I talked about and what I didn't. So, alright, well, that's a portion of my exciting commute. So, with that, peace out.
Day 4, heading to the doctor after work.
And we're back. So, 4th. And I thought this would be interesting to film because a series of lights are out by the mall, which makes commuting a real joy. Even more so than it usually is during this stretch. So today is Thursday. I believe it's the 4th. I am 4 for 4 on my trip. I'm so thankful for lane splitting in the state of California. Otherwise, I would be so packed back there. It'd be ridiculous. God forbid, have these goddamn cagers. Goddamn cagers. Is that swearing? I got this van that's gonna sit right in my lane. That's right. Don't move over for me. Lady's totally effing oblivious to everything. Yay, thank you. Oh, the joys of lane splitting in the Golden State. Cars, so don't get pounded. Yep. So that's how we roll. That's how we roll in Cali. Yep. So, yeah, that's that. Let's see, day 4. Start out with a little bit of drizzle. I thought it was going to rain pretty hard today. Glad it didn't so far because I forgot my rain liners. So if it starts pouring, I'm going to get soaked. But that would be my dirty little secret because these pants look like they're probably weather protected. So, yep, that's that. Going to get an allergy shot. And then I'm going to be going over to the Vintage Monkey for a Triumph, I guess, event. Triumph Motorcycles, sponsored by A&S Motorcycles. So that'll be pretty exciting. I'm going to meet Mrs. Smith over there. And I'm glad I forgot my sunglasses today too, because it's awesome that the sun has blinded me in the face. So once I can take my hand off the clutch fully, I'm going to sign off, and here it is. With that, peace out.
Day 5. Happy Friday.
And we're back. Today's the fifth day. 5 days straight of taking the bike out. 5 for 5. Yep. So it's been a rainy day all day, pretty much on and off, except, two deer running out in front of me. There we go. It's interesting. I always see the deer crossing sign. I've been commuting this way probably for 2 years now. That's the first deer I've seen. So, go figure. Little small ones. But, yeah, so it's been a rainy day today, but it didn't rain on me going in, and it's not raining now. So, that's good, I guess. You know, I got all my rain gear on. So, probably the worst thing today is it's hot. By hot, I mean it's like above, it's probably 60 or just around 60 or got sidetracked there. After work on a Friday, man, I'm just spent thinking about other stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. So I got all my rain gear on. I got my liner, insulated liner, my jacket, and I'm getting a little swampy. So wish it was I wish it was it was around 50. Low 50s would be nice, or even upper 40s. But I know anybody who's watching this, if you're my friend is in Cleveland, and he told me the high today was 7 Fahrenheit. So I guess I shouldn't really be bitching about how hot it is here. And just as a FYI, I don't consider bitching to be really a swear. For me, swears are F-bombs probably. My guess is that's the way. I'll use like the what is that? The people, I don't even know what the name of who rank the movies are. There's some board who ranks them. So pretty much their views are F-bombs and violence is okay, which is interesting. Yeah, I saw the new Star Wars movie. I don't even remember what it's called, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I found that interesting. It's PG-13, and they killed like probably thousands or more people. Probably more than that if you think about like those big ships they're blowing up and stuff. If you think about like what's on a battleship and consider those things are bigger. I know there's a lot of droids on those ships, not to get like real nerdy and stuff, but they probably killed like in that movie like I would say 50 to 100,000 people, easily. And there's no problem with that. I guess as long as you're shooting people with lasers and you don't see blood, that's fine. But drop 2 F-bombs in that movie and they'll get an R. So go figure. And that was an interesting thing once on my earlier movies. I mean, I'm trying to cut down the swearing now because I realized it was somewhat excessive. It didn't really bother me, but I know folks find it offensive. I received some comments about how filthy my movies, my YouTube channel videos were, and like I said, I get it, but I don't know. For me, it's kind of funny that my swearing is where we draw the line. If I made movies where I was, not really killing folks, obviously, but pretending to kill folks, or even if I was like degrading women or something like that. Hell, even half the YouTube videos I see where people are doing like stupid stuff with their kids and animals borders on animal cruelty, you know, pretty close to the line, and, you know, really poor parenting. So I don't know, you know, the swearing, that's what people are concerned about though. So I was gonna say go F and figure, but again, I'm trying to keep the F-bombs down. So all right, that's probably a good enough rant for Friday. Hoping for the weekend the weather will remain good enough so I can get out and take a reasonable ride one of these days, rather than utility rides, which is like what I call my commuting. And if I go to the store or something like that, I'd like to be able to take a, you know, leisure ride. So hopefully with Mrs. Smith. So with that, I'd say have a great weekend. But by the time I publish this, the weekend will have passed. But most likely it'll probably come out, I don't know, if I do them on Wednesdays, the weekend will only be 2 days away. So all right, well, have a good weekend, and peace out.
Day 6. Riding with Mrs. Smith to a brewery. Woohoo!
And we're back.
We're back!
So I'm riding with Mrs. Smith today. Yep.
Yep.
And today is V-Twin Day. I'm riding the 88 Hawk, bringing 88 back. And Mrs. Smith, what are you riding?
I'm riding the 2006 Ducati Multitra.
Right. The
Bringing 2006 back.
The Dungeon Dragon. Yeah, and today is Jan 6. This is 6 for 6 on my 365 motorcycle. Mrs. Smith is 1 for 6, but she's not really.
Mrs. Smith's just trying to ride every weekend.
Right, Mrs. Smith's she's doing a hashtag 52 weeks motorcycle challenge. That's what you should do.
Ah,
Good one, yeah.
that would be.
So we're easy little ride today. We're just going to imagine that, a brewery, right?
Yep.
And the stupid Sena is acting up again. So
Imagine that.
So Mrs. Smith, talk as much as you want before it drops you again.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if you can hear the rumbling of Mrs. Smith's bike. I'm gonna try to convince her to ride the 88 back, so she can see what a civilized V-twin is like.
Hey, if I'm having a good day with the dust, I'm staying with the dust.
Gotcha. So right now we're riding through the periphery of Rancho. We're riding past the old Mather Air Force Base over here. That's on both sides, and most of it I think is slated to just be open space, right? I don't think there's any development
I don't think so.
beyond what they did in the cantonment area of the old base. So, what brewery you going to?
What?
What brewery? What's the name of it?
Flatland.
Flatland. Tell no tales in Flatland.
Yum, yum, yum.
The beers are up for sale. Flatland.
Oh man, that hurt my ears.
Tell no tales. That was supposed to be to Iron Maiden's Gangland.
Ooh.
Didn't know that, sorry.
You should hear it from where I'm sitting.
Alright, green light. Some plate or something in the road there.
I see that.
That road, when we moved here, never went through.
What, never went through?
That section of road that we just rode on didn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, once we get into the housing area, I'll probably cut this sucker out, because who wants to watch this shit? Although this is probably more entertaining than me commuting to work for 5 days. That's what the footage has been.
Oh, plus you've got Mrs. Smith with you now.
Right.
I mean...
Right. You can hear you at this point. Alright.
Jesus, wait for me next time.
Sorry. Oh, you're right. I kind of left you there. So when did I buy this Hawk? Last year?
Yeah.
Like when? Do you remember?
Around January 4th.
January?
July. You always need to get a bike for Independence Day.
Okay, right. I was like, there's no way I had this bike for over a year.
I get my J months mixed up.
I don't ride it too much. I don't, because I mean, a number of reasons. The first one is probably the range. The gas tank is so small. You're lucky if you get 100 miles on the tank. That's based upon experience. When I ran out at like probably like, I don't know, 87 miles one day. This is the old airfield here. Yep.
Yep.
Comes the Lord's Church. Jesus is Lord. Welcome to. I'll leave this on until we get to Jackson Highway.
All right.
Oh, we got all these stupid speed bumps. These are tables though, so they're a little kinder on a bike, in my opinion. Mrs. Smith's got her cases on so she can bring Bubba beers home for us.
Indeed.
I could have put the tank bag I use on the VFR fits on this bike, and that would have. I know I can get like. I could probably, if I really pushed it, I could probably get 6 crawlers in there. But
holy shit, dude.
I've had 3 in there, and that was no problem.
I'm excited to see how much riding a motorcycle throws off my Fitbit.
Oh yeah, it probably throws it off a lot.
It really like adds the step.
Mrs. Smith has a Fitbit, right? I don't have one because I'm so fit already. I mean,
yeah, Mrs. Smith is not fit.
No, I'm just kidding. That's probably just the opposite. So many stops going this way. I forgot.
Yep. It's good though. It like forces me to practice the takeoff in this bike, which can be admittedly a little weird.
Yeah, it's got like that snatchy clutch.
Snatchy. That was a cute puppy back there.
Yep. So that means this year my bike is 30 years old, right?
That's nuts, man.
Yep. Yeah, 30 years old. A little older than me. Yeah, wishful thinking, right?
Well, 29 again and all.
Right. It's only got 63,392 miles on it.
How many miles have you ridden it since you got it?
Probably close to 400.
Okay.
Which isn't terrible. I think like this year, I think where the mileage came on this bike is instead of me riding a little bit, not riding the VFR, and a lot not riding the Hornet.
Oh yeah.
Because the Hornet's mile is almost half what it was. This might be the Popo here. So slow and stop, yo. Yep. Elk Grover. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were so far back. Oh, you can catch him.
Yeah. I did a full stop. I just didn't put any things down.
He's an Elk Grove cop anyway. So this, to our right now is a surface mine for fill, topsoil and fill and at. I guess at some point they'll restore that and probably give it to the city for a park or something, or wetlands. You still there?
Yep.
All right. Well, again, I'm posting video every day on one film, so I'll probably cut it off once we pass the racetrack. If the racetrack's open, we should drag each other.
We should do what?
Drag race each other.
Oh, no. What are you nuts?
This bike is so awesome to ride like in twisties. Unfortunately, this is not the ride today. That was like probably the best curve of the trip.
Yeah, right. I was like, wee, this is fun. Whee!
Alright, well this is the Raceway heel.
Yo.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'll let you say the closing.
All right then. Peace out.
Day 7, the 250 at Prairie City.
And we're back. So today I am at Prairie City, the OHV park, and yeah, wanted to do a little bit of riding today, and I figured I'd come here. And yeah, it's pretty messy here, man. You know, I'm not a great off-road rider, so when it gets pretty sloppy, it can be pretty challenging for me. And we didn't get a ton of rain, but this is mostly like clay pan area, and a lot of water just sticks around here, even if you only get a little bit of rain. And that is definitely the case today. See, I came up because I figured I'd get a pass today, and figured I'd get a pass, but the park was free today, so that was pretty interesting. So I noticed up ahead, up on this hill here, that's all closed off and being rehabbed. I guess they recontoured it and they're trying to grow some vegetation there. And a while ago they had this section of the park closed over here, so I got a bunch of videos from here, so I don't really anticipate filming like all day out here. And I'm probably gonna try to find some sections that are a little bit drier for me, so I can not kill myself. So yeah, so that's pretty much that. This is day 7. It is the 7th of January, and so far I'm 7 for 7 for riding. I went out yesterday with Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith thought about coming out with me today, but didn't. Yeah, other stuff to do. So I'll probably be regretting going out today because I got so much stuff I need to do. One of which is clean this bike, definitely after being here, and then also cleaning the NC. The NC is filthy, and after taking it out in the rain last time, it's pretty bad. So well, this looks wetter than I'd like it to be, so let's see how it goes going up this hill. But those dudes stalled there. Yeah, you can see what I mean here by like the amount of clay that's just here. It's pretty crazy. I'm always the excuse maker, but yeah, these tires, I don't know, these are newer tires that I have. I forget what these are. These might actually be Bridgestones or Dunlaps, I can't remember. I used to run IRCs in the past, and these are new, so I'm still trying to figure them out a little bit. I haven't noticed much difference in the dry, but you know, in the wet might be a little bit different. And also, like a schmo, I didn't bring my compressor so I could let out a little bit of air. But then again, I didn't really think I was going to come here. I kind of made a split decision when on my way out. I was like, oh, do I really want to ride out to the other dirt roads today? Maybe I'll go to Prairie City and check it out. Check it out. So, yep. Look at that mud hole down there. I remember this spot going to the left here. That must be something somebody just tore up to get around this mud hole. That's a new path. That's kind of the bad thing out here, you know. It's not very it's kind of a free-for-all. I mean, you can see these kids here just riding up in the grass around the trees and stuff, and it pretty much wrecks the place quite a bit. But anyway, so alright, well, with that, check in next week. Mrs. Smith is also doing a challenge. She's doing she's going to try to ride once a week, and she usually will get more rides in than that, but there have been some weeks. Oh my God, look at this big hill here. It's interesting to see like how they've reworked this area quite a bit. So, like every time I come here. So yeah, she's doing a challenge. She went out yesterday with me, so she's pretty much clear for the next week. Her week begins on Monday. So I'm trying to do every day, and I said so far so good. It's going to get tougher if it gets colder out and whatnot. So all right, well, with that, peace
Thanks
out.
for watching. If all goes well, there'll be another 51 installments at least.